This is a special place. Taktser Rinpoche is the brother of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. He's an incarnated Lama, a recognized Tulku. He's a very special individual. And he's creating very special energy here on this land.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
We're here on behalf of Taktser Rinpoche. Do you have a moment for a couple words just to say something about Professor Norbu?
His whole life is spent, I think, service to Dharma as well as the Tibetan cause. I always admire. Now they are established, also the institution there. I think they will carry, under the leadership of a.k.a. Rinpoche, I think that they will carry the spirit of Taktser Rinpoche forever. That's my wish and my prayer. Thank you. I think that they will carry the spirit of Taktser Rinpoche forever. That's my wish and my prayer.
My father was actually the first Tibetan that came over to the United States, as he was actually, you could call him the ambassador for Tibet.
Taktser Rinpoche is the same way I believe, my personal belief is he Buddhist type of way of life. I believe because he could have mobilized His Holiness Dalai Lama's name, and he has right to do so. He's the eldest brother.
Taktser Rinpoche and His Holiness the Dalai Lama have very different positions about the future of Tibet and the solution to solve the Tibetan problem, but actually this is a very complicated question, and I think the background is important to understand. Taktser Rinpoche and His Holiness the Dalai Lama have spent a lot of time together over the years, and they both have great admiration for each other.
And he came to America in 1959 seeking help from the United States government, seeking help through the world. And since then, he's been traveling all over the United States.
A moving day in Lhasa affects tens of millions indirectly. In the cloud-swept Tibetan city, the Dalai Lama moves to a new palace with all the pomp and panoply that should properly accompany the youthful religious leader who is regarded as Buddha incarnate.
One of the most powerful and stunningly painful footages to come out of Tibet that recorded Chinese police treatment of the protesters was the 1988 beating of the monks at the Chogang Temple. These footages now shown around the world are the first images that documented the brutality of the Chinese police.
These films are the first to depict the Dalai Lama since 1956, when he visited India on the 2500th anniversary of the death of Buddha, a rare public appearance for one of the most unusual figures of our world.
Waiting, nothing seems to be changing. The world I'm back, and it's time to put Tibet on the map. Waiting, nothing seems to be changing. Same on same, it's not ending. My people crying, trying, dying, but United Nation doesn't seem to be caring. Everything we do is useless. Everything we care is careless. Every blood spilling is worthless.
The Buddha Law is an inspiring symbol of strength. It is a fitting monument to a religion that is divested with such tremendous power. It is also a fitting residence for their Dalai Lamas, whose soul is allegedly the perpetuated reincarnation of Buddha. The present Dalai Lama was born of peasant parents in an eastern province and was brought to Lhasa with great ceremony as heir to the throne of Tibet.
It's worthless. I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of these excuses. I'm tired.
After throughout Tibet since 10 March 2008, we are told that these beatings of protesters took place in Ornur Lhasa after 14 March 2008.
I need to see some proof. We need to make a move. Now listen to you. It's clearly understood. Now wake up, stand up. Let's make the move. Show me not alone. We got to
his head, reds oozing out. They won the Olympics shit while we losing thousands. All my fellow Tibetans stand up right now for freedom. Is what I'm seeking for 6 million of my people with no free speaking. Well, I'm gonna teach you one of the worst genocides that remains a secret. Crying out for help, every nation turns their faces. But all the karma building up, no God can save them. The only race that we racing in is the race to save us before it's too late and our race is erased out. The biggest corporations should be ashamed of themselves. If they making money with China, then they burning in hell. Fucking the pole, it's like the whole world's for sale. From South Africa back to Northern America. Yo.
2 years ago, the Dalai Lama and the Panchen Lama toured Buddhist shrines together. Now, in the wake of the Tibetan uprising, a repetition of Hungary's brief revolt, the Dalai Lama is a fugitive, stripped of power by red decree. The Panchen Lama, thought to be a Chinese pawn, is his successor. Reportedly, the Dalai Lama was injured while fleeing to sanctuary in India. Some say he is leading rebel holdouts in southern Tibet. At the least, Red China has suffered a severe loss of face. But there are no free newsmen to bring out the true story of the Hungary of Asia from behind the bamboo curtain.
Yeah, the Chinese had invaded Kumbu Monastery and captured Norbu. They tortured him. They tortured him physically and they tortured him psychologically.
Lecturing, talking to government officials, talking to communities, talking to cities and towns, and letting people know and educating about what's happened in Tibet and asking people for help. And he's traveled all over the world as well.
After he denied them, they kept him under house arrest for quite a few months. I think it was like 4 or 5 months. Watched every.
He led them to believe that he was going to do whatever they wished. They told him what they wanted him to do was go to Lhasa and assassinate his brother, the Dalai Lama.
That he made. At the time there were 4,000 monks at his monastery, and he was the leader of the monastery.
And he convinced them that yes, he would do that. And so they were going to send him out with Chinese cadre soldiers.
Celebration of the Dalai Lama's Nobel Prize was banned, and as denunciations against him intensified, so did demonstrations against Chinese rule.
I tell my son and daughter, you have to take the revenge for these people. Dalai Lama is not bothered. Sometimes, I feel so angry.
When they stuck the electric cattle prod in my vagina, something happened in my heart, and then I fell unconscious.
Satan launched the cultural revolution,
Olympics will have a great visit, but just remember this: Tibet is the killer of my people, and when you're there, all of Tibet, Tiananmen Square, Yahoo too.
It's not there. Well, why not?
They good at making things disappear, like the Panchen Lama of Tibet. He's been missing for years. Their position is clear. Michigan, my biggest fear near, but when his holiness is gone, my people still here, and I'm the ex of Tibet, and I ain't coming nowhere.
They are the ones starting. Innocent lives taken, peace is broken. Tibet is stolen, so now we the soldier. Tibetan soldier, the freedom soldier, the non-violent soldier. And this is just the rap, the whole world I'm back.